I'd like to call to order the Executive Committee meeting Wednesday, November 19th, 2025, and we'll start off with a roll call.
Mr. Hess? Present. Ms. Polk?
Present.
Mr. Seroy? Ms. Weber? Ms. Parker? Mr. Carrico? Mr. Featherling? Mr. Kirkstra? Mr. Hunter? Ms. Foster? Mr. Ashcraft? Mr. Alexander Hildebrand?
Present.
Mr. Long?
Present.
We do have a quorum.
We have a quorum. I have nothing under public comment and no presentation, so I'll move on to the approval of the minutes of October 22nd, 2025. Can I have a motion to approve? First by Long, second by Carrico. Any discussion on that? All right, voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And then can I have a motion and second to amend the agenda to allow Anita Speckman to move up to the front? First by Featherling, second by Hunter. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. Welcome, Anita.
Good morning, and it is so nice to have the support of my coworkers in the back who immediately give me shade. Okay, so thank you so much for letting me go first. I have an appointment I have to keep this morning. So I wanted to talk through where we're at on several things. We have some good news. One, the open positions that I always report for. Interestingly, we have 8 current open positions. We had 10 last month, which is really a low number. Most telling of those 4 at the Public Health Department. So really, for the county, as you know, county that we're engaged in, or my team's engaged in, we have 4 openings is all there is. So that's really, really quiet. New hire orientation is canceled for tomorrow. That is pretty standard in November, because right now what we're doing is bridging the gap between our old plan, which is now in effect only till December 31st, and the new plan. So we're looking at when effective dates are for employees, because most of them are rolling into the new plan with the new enrollment information, which we're working on right now to get up and ready. So this is pretty standard to, unless there is somebody we need to enroll. There's one person right now that we're working with individually that will enroll in the old plan for a month and then go right into new open enrollment and enroll in next year's plan next month. So it's kind of a chaotic time, which, as you hear me talking quickly, that's pretty much the standard upstairs right now all the time. So we're moving as fast as we can, and open enrollment will be ready and will be held December 1st through the 15th. Eric's been really helpful in extra hands on deck to get everything ready. We have most of the materials set, ready. It's out there if you want to review them before enrollment starts, but please don't start calling us until December 1st. We're just kind of got all our hands getting everything ready right now. So everything's going to be ready. The video, the materials are on the website. That'll be also put out on the open enrollment tool. So our employees, effective December 1st, that's going to open up. I usually come in earlier even than usual on that day and go in right away and test it and make sure it's live. And only once in my employment here did I come in and it wasn't up, and that was a little bit of chaos. But we're hoping for the norm, that it opens up like it should and everyone can go in, look at the video, print out the enrollment guide, go through the process. And we're encouraging our employees to really watch that video, print that guide, and study these plans. So we are moving from 4 plans to 3 plans, and only 1 plan is the same plan as last year. The other 2 are similar in in cost and benefit, but they are different. So we want our employees to look carefully at those plans and determine what's right for them and their families to make the selection for next year. On top of that, we have union negotiations going on. We have 2 contracts that expire that I'm involved in or administration is involved in, and they expire 11/30. We will have one to bring forward for review tomorrow. That is a tentative agreement. That is for our maintenance department, and we continue to work with our highway department team on renewal of theirs. So we're moving forward with that as well. On top of that, we have the HSA, FSA, and DCA. DCA is dependent care plans. We're converting those benefits from a third-party administrator into Paylocity. So it will be easier for our employees to see. It'll be right there on the main page, but it's getting those modules set up through Paylocity and walking through what the transition of the day-to-day processes are. So we're working on that. In addition to that, COBRA is converting from a separate third-party administrator into Paylocity as well, so we're working on that. Annual sexual harassment training goes on. The deadline was October 31st, and currently we have 37 employees that are outstanding. And as a reminder, board members count as employees, and there are quite a few on the list. So if you are a board member who has not taken the sexual harassment training and the cyber training, please reach out to Joanne or Eric, kind of coordinate how to get that done so we get that on file. By state law, we must have certification of your completion of that training every year. So that has to be done every year, and we work really hard this last quarter to get that done.
And we'll send out another reminder because every board member does need to get that done.
And then just a reminder to all department heads and elected officials, please submit your EDS sheets for any salary changes to Joanne as quickly as you can. Get that to her with any new rates effective 12/1 with the new fiscal year. So we've got that, and she can get those in. Next week is payroll week. It's a very short week, obviously, 3 days. Payroll has to get done in that shortened week, so our employees get paid next Friday. And then, lastly, I do have some good news. We did get an update from Mike Lynch on our health insurance trend over the last 90 days. And so if you remember when we did approved our renewal of the of Blue Cross Blue Shield plans, our average run rate over the last 12 months for claims versus premium, so the cost of our plan versus what we were paying, was at 138%. So we had 38% higher in outlay in cash from Blue Cross in claims than they received in premiums from us. So hence the issues with our renewal and why we needed to make some changes. So what has happened the last 90 days is that the last 3 months, the percentage of the loss ratio, the cost going out versus the premiums coming in August was 98%, down from 138% in July. So down to 98%, 83.5% in September, and 88.8% in October. Great, great, great news. Our 12-month rolling number, which is what we're looking at renewal, which is a long way away, but kind of keep an eye on, went from 138 down to 120.8. So still over 100%, but boy, it sure is a good trend, and we're moving in the right direction. So we're hoping everybody stays healthy and we stay on this good trend. And I think that's all I have.
Great news. Great news.
Okay.
Any questions for Anita, or we can let her get out of here for her appointment? All right,
Okay,
good
great.
to go.
Thank
you
you.
so much. Next up, we have Jason Shane with Information Systems. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to keep mine kind of short this time since we're ending the budget year. We're just kind of wrapping everything up, doing our service calls. The only new equipment that we did is installing 2 UPSs. These 2 UPSs are actually kind of, as you heard with Ted on maintenance on his meeting, and their UPSs. Ours is way cheaper because we have more purpose-built UPSs for smaller amounts. These specific ones, they also allow power monitoring for me. So like if we lose power at 2 o'clock in the morning, within 10 minutes, I'll get a notification saying that there was a power incident. So that way when, you know, we start in the next day or that day, I'll at least be aware that, hey, we might have issues. So, you know, me and my guy Adam, we can get on things quicker than normal.
Mr. Featherling?
Kind of acronym kind of guy. UPS.
Yeah, uninterrupted power supply.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
yeah. Not FedEx. The only other thing I have is more for information. I'm sure you guys heard about Comcast being out for over 12 hours earlier in the month. Just to let you know, that did not affect this building. It did not affect the courthouse or the annex building. One, we have AT&T dedicated fiber. We do have Comcast as a backup internet source, and we always try to keep a backup internet source. So if one or the other vendor goes down, earlier this year we did implement a couple devices that if one of those go down, it automatically switches our internet over to the other one. A couple things will be affected, that's IP dedicated, but 90% of our services will still go forward, especially since we have so many departments that's so reliant on having internet to just do their daily work. So I just want to let you guys know that that did not affect us, and if it ever did, we do have backup plans for that. Other than that, I'm on budget as always and moving forward.
Thank you very much. Any more questions for Jason? All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Health Department, John Beavis, with his administrator's report. Can I have a motion to accept and put that on file? First by Long, second by Carrico. We'll do a voice vote for that. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. Good morning.
Good morning. I've got my report there. It's been rather slow. Like what was just mentioned, it's the end of the budget year for us also. We are in the process of reminding our staff about all the trainings that they're going to need to complete by the end of the year, as Anita was saying, with the sexual harassment, for example, the cyber training. We have a company that we have used for a number of years that provides monthly training for our staff, and we'll have to remind some of those, and we're able to keep track of that. Just as a reminder, I know tomorrow night is the Board of Health meeting, our monthly Board of Health meeting at 5 o'clock at the Health Department. If anyone's interested in coming to that, you're more than welcome. Otherwise, I'll entertain any questions if there are any.
Any questions for John?
No,
All
that's
right.
Great. But you got a lot of empty seats up here. I thought you were inviting Anita up to one of those. But...
not quite. Not
All
today.
right.
All right, thank you. Next up, we have schools. Dr. Patricia High with her monthly report. Can I have a motion to accept and put that report on file? First by Hunter, second by Parker. Any questions? All right, we'll do a voice vote. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Good morning.
Good morning. Yay, I'm here in person. Not via
Not in
Zoom.
Springfield.
No. I do love Central Illinois. As you can see, in the report, I'm talking about facilities and oversight. Part of the ICANN functions are conducting health, life, safety, and compliance checks for our districts. Last year, these are last year's numbers because we're obviously involved in this year. Number of buildings we inspected is 66. Total number of permits given were 18. Those could be from anything to a roofing project, a classroom remodel, anything that involves them using health, life, safety funds, or involves plus 25,000. Total number of temporary occupancies given was 15. Temporary occupancies are stuff like annex buildings, or they commonly referred to the trailers. And so we do go and look at those as well. We did approve different construction projects and monitoring code compliance within our schools. Myself and my assistant regional superintendent, we get trained every year to do this, and it's a kind of a process, but we go through it every year to kind of go through with our schools and help the architects, project managers, design professionals complete those tasks in a timely manner. Questions?
Questions? Todd?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Hyde, it's always nice to see you in person.
Always good to see you too.
So when your office does the regulatory inspections of the school districts, do you do every school every year, or you got a rotation?
No,
because I'm involved in like the backside of that stuff.
And you get my compliance emails.
Yeah, I do. Yes. So that's why I was just wondering, like, is it
every year, every school?
Okay. All right.
Yep.
All right. I'll be ready then.
Yeah. Well, but compliance is a little different. So compliance that I talked to you about is every 4 years, a different school is on compliance.
Okay.
So it's a rotation.
All right.
That's more of an in-depth process where I look at curriculum. We talk to about process procedures. A lot of them use press policy, but we also have to make sure that press policy is being put into practice, and they have to show that with different artifacts.
And also on my end, it's the school bus training and safety and all that stuff that I have to provide to you. Yeah. So I just want to make the committee aware that all that's going on through your office, and you guys do a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Any more questions?
I'm in person too.
All right, good to go. That was a quick one.
I'm okay.
See what happens when you come?
Next up, we have the VAC with their monthly report. Can I have a motion to accept and put that report on file? First by Hunter, second by Long. We'll do a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. Aye. All right, motion carries. Morning.
Morning. Good morning, everyone. So we have a lot to be thankful for at the Veterans Assistance Commission this November. You have my report in front of you. A few of the highlights that I wanted to touch on. So currently in Veterans Treatment Court, we have 6 participants in, 3 under consideration, and a graduation that should be coming up in January that I'd love to keep you all updated with in the event anybody would like to attend. As far as our office is concerned, Erin Craig from Congresswoman Kelly's office has been coming every month to make sure that veterans in our community have a voice for their representatives. Actually, as of yesterday, Farm to Veteran dropped off 2 cows to both of the freezers that they have donated. One freezer donated to the Liberty Lodge, the Permanent Supportive Housing Project, and another donated to the Veterans Assistance Commission. I believe we have about 200 pounds of ground beef over at the lodge and 250 at our office, in addition to other cuts of meat. So any veterans that might be facing any sort of food insecurity, will make sure that they get the food that they need. H-Wave, again, is coming out to our office also once a week. They have a device that's for pain, where veterans that are experiencing any type of pain can try it on themselves and get hands-on. And because we're located right down the hall from the community-based outpatient clinic, that same veteran can then walk down the hall, go to their primary care provider, and request one of those devices if they think it would make a benefit. And we've gotten a lot of positive feedback from that. The community, as always, around the holidays really comes out to rally around the veteran community. We've had several people offering to do dinners for veterans from Texas Roadhouse for Veterans Day to include the veterans over at the Liberty Lodge, which was greatly appreciated. Triad Financial is going to be doing 15 full Thanksgiving meals for veterans in need. Also, I really appreciated board member Carol Weber for bringing over some much needed items too to help stock up our clothing for veterans that might be needing some hats and gloves and things this winter. Also, as an office, we had a plan for the for supplemental food assistance for any veterans that were affected by SNAP that might have been cut off due to the, or that was cut off due to the government shutdown, as long as they met certain requirements. In addition to that, as I talked about before, with a potential remodel for the reception area. With that being said, one of the most important pieces was that we took a look at our lease and got an extension on that lease before we were to do anything else. Our current lease was to expire in 2027, and we had discussed with Jeff Bennett and our landlord to have a 5-year an additional 5 years on top of what we already have, so going to 2032. We have a pretty good deal on that with an option after that, mirroring or trying to come as close to mirror the community-based outpatient clinic. Again, board member Ken Llewellyn stopped by and visited and took a tour of our office, which I greatly appreciated. And I was able to kind of show him the community-based outpatient clinic through the VA and where they started and how much they're growing now, based on all the renovations that they are making, more than doubling their square footage to meet the veteran need. So we're making sure that we are also there to also fulfill that need for those veterans. Outside of that, with Christmas coming up, we have started a giving tree in our office that I wanted to make sure everybody knew about. We call it the Christmas Tree of Honor. So veterans must be registered or get registered with the Veterans Assistance Commission. We'll be decorating a tree in the mall. It'll be right in front of Kansai, and veterans can write down any items on their wish list that they might wish to receive this Christmas. We'll assign that a number, put it on a dog tag on the Christmas tree, so anybody can come and pick up a dog tag and buy a gift for a veteran in need while still respecting their pride and trying to keep it as anonymous as possible. But outside of that, unless anybody else has any questions, that concludes my report.
Mr. Featherling?
Thanks, sir. How do you get the gifts? Like, you have a place that would be on a tree, they're going to say what they want. Where would you take the gifts? Back to the tree, or do they go to some place? Do you think by your office, or?
Great question.
Yeah,
thank you.
I didn't know where to go.
You will be bringing those gifts to the Veterans Assistance Commission, and we are keeping track of what gifts are going to what veterans, and then we will make sure that those veterans receive those gifts.
Okay.
Thank you for asking.
Carol?
Thank you. The other good part about that is that we get to write a note to the person receiving the gift.
Yes.
I like that very much.
I think the sentimental piece is one of the most important things for sure, and I definitely know a lot of veterans appreciate those notes, cards, pictures from kids, things like that. It's also definitely appreciated.
Tinker?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Would you like the gift wrapped or unwrapped?
Me personally, I'm a big fan of Christmas. I think if they were wrapped, that would be amazing.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Any more questions for Eric? Ken?
Yeah, I do want to thank you for the tour. It was very informative, and a lot of great things are going on over there. Do you want to highlight some of the other activities you're involved in, like helping with the reduction in suicide? Because it was at one time 22 vets a day were dying. Now we're supposedly down to 17. But any other activities you're doing there or the surrounding area?
I appreciate that, Ken. We had a really good discussion, a long discussion about everything that our Assistance Commission does, and he really gave me a lot of time to talk about it. And I don't want any of this to come across as bragging by any means, but our county has really done a lot in terms of fighting the epidemic of veteran suicide across the country. Two of the other points that I brought up to Ken in that conversation was the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention piloted a program called Talk Saves Lives for the veteran community. So it was an introduction to suicide prevention for veterans. And I believe they piloted it in 2 places in the country, maybe more. But in the state of Illinois, they piloted it in Kankakee County and only in our area, because they knew that they would get the kind of support that they needed and that we have the type of community that rallies around it. In addition to that, the SAMHSA, if you're not familiar, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, they do a crisis intercept map in all the really large metropolitan areas, so all the major cities across the country, to try to identify what they can do to prevent veteran suicide. They are also now starting to work with the Veterans Assistance Commission and nonprofits in this area to include Project Headspace and Timing, because we had been recommended as an area that is doing its job in reaching out to the veteran community and actively helping to combat veteran suicide. And so for them to take the time to want to do things in our area, to continue to build the statistics and numbers they need on a grand scale and compare us to Chicago and Denver and all these other large cities that have much more resources than us, but we're able to prove that we can get the job done just like they can. So that's a really big pat on the back for, again, our staff at the Veterans Assistance Commission, everybody that's tied into the mental health world or veteran space in Kankakee County. And I'm really excited to see what the results of that prove. But thank you, Ken.
The fact that you're getting recognized outside of this community and even nationally and surrounding counties is a kudos to you and your team. It's not bragging, it's statement of the facts.
I appreciate that.
Any more questions for Eric or comments? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving.
Next up under community services, we have the county assessor's monthly report. He is not here today, so I will need a motion and a second to accept and put his report on file. First by C. Royce, second by Featherling. Any discussion on that? You have his report, so you should have already read it. Voice vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. Next up, we have the county clerk's monthly report. Dan Hendrickson, can I have a motion to accept and put his report on file? First by Foster, second by Kirkstra, and then we'll do a voice vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Dan?
He's not here either.
He's
I don't have anything to add, but if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them to the best of my ability.
Any questions for Dan? All right.
Have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
I like the orange shirt.
You can see me from space.
Next up, we have the recorder's monthly report. Lori Gadboy, she is not here as well. So can I have a motion to accept and put her report on file? First by Hess.
Polk.
Second by Polk. And then we'll do a voice vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. And then we have an AWAC update by Tinker Parker.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We met, our AWAC met, and so happy to say that all of our slots are filled on our board. We had a good meeting the other day. Going forward, many of us have animals. And when someone loses an animal, it's like losing a family member because we're very close to them. And when they die, it's sometimes, you know, a person can have them cremated or buried in the backyard, whatever. But there's always that, how can we memorialize that pet that has brought so much joy into our life? We have worked with Carrie Laird at the Animal Control and kind of suggested a memorial wall where people in the community can honor their deceased pet. So Carrie has commissioned a young artist to come in and paint the wall. We've seen the preliminary designs that will go up. As you walk through the door, it will be in the hallway. And people were going to be able to purchase a frame, whether it be a 4x6, 5x7, or 8x10, to memorialize their pet, which will be placed upon that wall. And all the funds that will go to that program will be assisting animal control with expenses, stay right there in the building with them. But it's for anyone. You don't have to, it's great if you adopt a pet from animal control and have the animal memorialized, but also if you're like me and you have multiple pets that have passed away, it's terrible to say, but I have a line of little cans with the ashes of my pets because I miss them and I never want to forget them, and they're always there. So when it goes up, we're going to be getting out on social media and pamphlets and flyers and asking people if they would like to purchase whether any size frame and to put your pet in there and then have it on the wall at animal control. So that's going to be coming out soon. I know they're going to start painting the wall after the design is finalized, and we'll get that information out to the public.
I think that's great, Tinker. That is awesome.
And just one other thing, because of the holidays, and I know everyone's stretched for funds right now, I want to just thank Jamie Scraven, who has Huckleberry Snack Shack, which donates food to people who can't afford to pay for food, and she also has many of the little places that people can just go there and get whatever they need for their pet. To thank her for taking the time to go out to corporations and getting donations to help the community keep our animals well fed and taken care of. So just keep an eye on the ferals, keep them warm, make sure that if they come to your back, they don't have frozen water. Make sure they have food and shelter. Again, I'm going to repeat it. Get those, they're coolers, but they're actually great styrofoam warmers. We've got several on our deck, you know, it'll be straw around there. And to make sure that you have heat and just a small opening for the animal, but don't put blankets in there because they can get wet. So it doesn't take a lot of money if you are feeding ferals, but it saves a lot of lives as well. And if you can trap them, take them to animal control to make sure that they get spayed and neutered, so we don't have that big creation of little kittens dying because of the cold weather. So,
I agree with that.
yes,
Thank you.
They'll
Thank
have
you.
microchip. They'll take them to and any of the places that you go to, the vet or animal control will have the ability to check the chip. I know that we had one, and we took it to the vet to have it spayed, and without checking, the vet had opened the cat up, and the cat had already been spayed. So it was a little expensive, but
Right.
you know, that was okay. Well, at least we knew. But make sure that you ask to be microchipped and check the ear, because they are supposed to clip the edge of the ear to indicate if that animal has been spayed and neutered.
I learned something today.
We
did not know
learned,
that.
yeah, ours was not clipped.
I just learned that.
Thank you very much for your report, Tinker.
You're welcome.
Next up under administrative, we have appointments, reappointments, and resignations. We have the appointment of Michael Dolphin to the Zoning Board of Appeals, the appointment of Angela Mori to the GIS Committee, appointment of Randall Chaplinsky to the Kankakee Regional Land Bank Authority, appointment of Felicia Riley to the Kankakee County Housing Authority as a tenant. I'm happy to get that one filled. And then the next couple are reappointments to reappointment of Eric Blair to the GIS Committee, reappointment of Lori Gadbois to the GIS Committee, reappointment of Greg Hayden to the GIS Committee, reappointment of Craig Long to the GIS Committee, and reappointment of Larry Kirkstra to the GIS Committee. And then we have a reappointment of Scott O'Brien to the Emergency Telephone System Board. And I need a motion to combine and approve those. First by Seawright, second by Hunter. And then we'll do a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. And under openings, we have one opening on the Regional Planning Commission. The next one is striked because we filled that, which is one opening on the Kankakee County Housing Authority tenant. We just filled that, so we'll strike that one. One opening on the BM Lewis Drainage District, one opening on the Clausen Park Drainage District, one opening on the Mantino Drainage District number 3, 2 openings on the Moments Pembroke Union Drainage District number 1, and one opening on the Moments and Yellowhead Drainage District number 1, and one opening on the Raymond Drainage District number 1. So that's it for openings. Under new business, we have the amending the recorder's statute regarding the recorder's fraud and referral process, and I'll let Coughlin take that one. And before we vote on it, there's a Scrivener's error, and therefore be it resolved, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs down, and it says, and we need to strike and be on, and then it's just that the County Board of Kankakee County adopts the amended ordinance regarding the recorder's fraud, referral, and review process, and such ordinance shall be found under Chapter 42 and shall read. And thank you for Roger Hess for that one.
As all of you know, the recorder has been pretty much at the forefront of in the fraud process, where we have an issue in Kankakee County, right, all over the place, but in Kankakee County, where people will file quitclaim deeds or other types of documents that will screw up a title, that will illegally transfer property. A lot of time it's people that have passed generations ago, and their family might have been keeping up the taxes or things like that. But then somebody preys upon them, they get a quitclaim deed and they file them. She has had a program for some time where you can report fraud. You can sign up where you'll get a notice if there's any change in any property that you have. The state legislature, however, has also done a statute that kind of fleshes that out a little bit. Maybe put more of a process in place in which and basically what this does is it brings in the state statute and adopts it as part of our ordinance. But what that does is it sets up like a hearing schedule. The reason that we're going to have to ask for a voice vote, or not a voice vote, for a roll call vote today, is that one of the things it does is it sets up a process where the county will have to hire an administrative law judge, that if people file complaints about the legality of a deed or some other filing, that you would then they can then file a complaint with the county. There would then be a hearing set up where an administrative law judge would then listen to the evidence and see whether or not they found that deed was fraudulent or not, and then that would start a process in which the deed could be voided, where it could ultimately come to our office for possible criminal prosecution. But it basically just fleshes out our existing ordinance and puts in those due process requirements that the state ordinance has. If anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
We'll do a motion to approve it, and then we'll do questions. Motion to approve, first by Long, second by, is that Foster?
Yeah.
Foster, and then any questions? Ms. Foster?
I just had a comment. I know in Pembroke, that has been a real issue. A lot of residents have called me and said that people are trying to do quitclaim deeds, and I know Lori has gotten a lot of phone calls and people coming to her office. So this will be good to put in place so we can flush out, who's the good guy and who's the bad guy.
Right, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
And you do have properties where a lot of vacant type properties for years and years and years. And then the actual owner gets kind of lost in history, and then people prey on those properties, and that's been going on, and that's one of the things that this is supposed to address.
Mr. Seabrice?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Coughlin, is there an opportunity, if fraud was found by this administrator, that the county could get the fraudster to pay for the administrator? Or is that then would go through the legal process for?
I mean, that'd be later on in the process. We're going to have to pay for an administrative law judge. That's just it's part of the cost
yeah,
of
I
doing-
get it.
It's like paying our real judges.
Right. But in my mind, I would think that the only time you would use that judge would be if you actually had fraud, because if nobody's bringing it to the judge, then it's probably an okay thing or an okay deed transfer or whatever.
I mean, I don't know that. A lot of times you'll have people that'll be having fights over property lines or and things like that. So there's
other things than just
there are other things that can prompt a fraudulent deed. Somebody might, for example, you've got a problem with, you've got property next door to you. You get a legal description where you want to take 10 feet because that's where your fence is. I mean, I can come up with a whole bunch of ideas about how you might misuse the process.
not just a stolen piece of property.
Correct.
Okay.
There are other things that come in because it deals with all fraudulent deeds.
Yeah.
So.
I just like to put it to the fraudsters as much as you can.
Well, and if depending on the nature of it and what the proof we might have, I mean, that's something that we could charge criminally as well.
Yeah.
If they're charged criminally, then you have a possibility for fines and things like that as well. So.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. We'll do a roll call vote.
Mr. Hess?
Aye.
Ms. Polk?
Aye.
Mr. Searoy?
Aye.
Ms. Weber? Ms. Parker? Mr. Carrico?
Aye.
Mr. Featherling? Mr. Kirkstra?
Aye.
Mr. Hunter? Ms. Foster? Mr. Alexander Hildebrand?
Aye.
Mr. Long?
All right, motion carries. Thank you. Anything else under new business? Any old business? All right, Roger.
Give it to Polk. She's been trying to get in on 3 or 4 different ones.
I'll make a motion to adjourn, and Ms. Polk's got a second.
Motion to adjourn by Hess and second by Polk. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.